parent child functions, we have five things. First is path, second is what is the path length and what is the path item we have, and how we can reverse that item, and what does mean by the path contents. Okay, so I'll tell you, path is represents the hierarchy. So you can see in this, it is used to represent the hierarchy. Okay, so this is the data we have. Okay, and this is how they have described this data in a hierarchical layer. So employee is there and manager is there. So Maria is the first manager who have not who don't have any employee. Okay, so in Maria's under we have Gabriel. Okay, and in Gabriel under we have Frank and Adam. Okay, so I'll tell you how it describes. So see, you can see this Maria is Maria. In Maria under we have Gabriel. Okay, in Gabriel we have Adam and Frank. Did you understand this one?
Yeah, understood.
Okay, now in Frank we have Sandy and Dean, and in Adam we have Edward and Taylor. So this is how they have described this tree structure, hierarchical
Mm,
level. Okay,
understood.
so next we have a path length. So it will count the item which represents in the path limit delimited. Okay, so this is the example. So this is the path length. Okay, so it will count the items. Suppose in path length we have four items, means four names: Maria, Gabriel, Adam, and Edward. So it will just count the items, that how many names or how many items are there, which is separated by this delimiter. Okay, so you can see there are four items, so it will give you a count of four. There are three items, it will give you a count of three. Okay, returns the number of item in a particular path string. This function returns one for the path generated for the id at the top root of the hierarchy. So it will return one for the root of the hierarchy. So this is called the root of the hierarchy. Okay, now we have path. Oh, okay. Okay, this is the path length. This is the path item. Okay, before length it will come item. So it gives you one item based on positions. So suppose if you define, if you want particular name, okay, on that time if you define this I number position of the item, so it will give you that item only. So here they have defined two, so that's why it is returning Gabriel. If you define three, it will return Adam. So we will see the practical also, so you will understand much better. Okay, so first we will see the path. So I'm going to add a new column in this. So for I have given a column name here, and then I'm going to write the path function. So we can see these are the path contains function, parent child function. So in this it is asking ID column and the parent column name. So I'm going to give the ID column is my employee. Okay, so this is my ID column, comma. So my parent column name will be the manager. Okay, and now I'm going to close this. Now you can see it is giving the path of that. So it represents the hierarchy of the managers. So in Maria we have Gabriel. In Gabriel we have Adam and Adam, and in Adam we have Edward. So this type of hierarchy they have represents in this path by using delimited this. So this is the delimiter. They have separated by this. You got this?
Mm, yeah, I got this.
Okay. So in path we have to give two parameter. First is id column and second is parent id column, parent column name. So in id column I have given employee, and in manager, in parent column I have given a manager. So how it will give the output is, it will give me the manager level output. So in this you can see my output is, in Maria we have Gabriel, in Gabriel we have Adam, and in Adam we have Edward. This is the first output they have given. See this. See. Edward for the first employee. Okay. And now for this, my output will be Maria, Gabriel, Adam. These three are the same, but the next is last one is change, because we have two items in Adam. Edward already defined, and rest is Taylor. So now it is Taylor, and same with the Frank. Okay, and this, now the third item will be Maria, Gabriel, Adam, and Frank, like this. Identifies the hierarchy from employee and manager. So it
Mm-hmm.
is manager level hierarchy, because
Mm-hmm.
in managers who comes under whose, like this. So in Maria, uh, Gabriel is there. In Gabriel we have Adam and Frank, and in Frank we have Cindy and Dean, and in Adam we have Edward and Taylor. So it represents the hierarchy, and mostly parent-child functions used in when you create a row level security in Power BI. Row level, so everything needs a security, right? So
Okay.
for this we have a row level security, and there are two types of row level security: static and dynamic. So we will see that one also. We have a topic of the row level security. So this function will mostly used in row level security,
Okay.
where you need to define the path contains, like this.
Okay. Okay.
So the next is path item. Now you can see the syntax of this. It is asking me the path and the position and the type. Now what you can do, you can again write the path like this by giving the path function under this. Okay, and the same thing, id column name is your employee, comma, your parent column name will be manager. Okay, you can do this either. You have already done this one, right? We have already done this. Oh,
Right.
path manager, so we can directly give a name of path manager, comma.
Mm.
Now the position type. So which position you want to see? One, two, three, four. We can define the position number. So if you define 3, okay, and then just close this. So you can see in third item, whatever the name is there, it will return those item name. So in for this, we don't have any third items. So that's why it is returning null. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
In second item, we have Gabriel. So it will return all Gabriel. Okay. So this is just a path item. Now we have path item reverse. So it will just same, but it will reverse this item. So path item reverse. Okay. So again, it asking me the same syntax, path, position, and the type. So type is optional. You can write it or you don't write it. So we will give the this. And now if I give, so now my position will be for reverse, my position will be, this will be first, this will be second, this will be third, and this will be fourth. So if I write fourth, okay, Maria is there, and I don't know why it is not returning for. Okay, you can see these are the fourth Maria. Okay, so one, two, three, four. So for starting four, there are four items, right? Now, if you see these four items, it is returning null. So why? Because this will be first, second, and now this will be the third item, right? This will be first, second item. This will be third item. That's why it is returning null. So first four, we have four items. So it considered Maria as fourth. But for last fourth, we have only third and two and single item. So that's why it is considering Maria third, for second, and of course this is the first thing. So that's why. If you write third, now you will see Gabriel is in third position. Okay, for these, for starting four, and Maria is the third position for this. Okay, so this is how in path item the in position is position start from Maria. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4. But in path return, position start from the employee. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. Now we have a path length. in this you can see the syntax. We need to define the path. So we have this path. So I have to give this path manager as my path. So it just give you the path length, how many items is there in your path. So that's it. So we have fourth item in first four, and then we have three items in this two, and two items in this, and one item is there. So it just written the path length. Okay. Now we have path contains. So path contains, it will check whether the path ID or name exists or not. So it will return a boolean value, true or false. Okay. So okay. So this is the path contain. Return true if the specified item exists within the specified path. Okay. So here we need to give the path first. Okay. So I have already defined a path. This comma, we need to define a item. So suppose I am going to give the Adam. Okay. So it will return true whenever the Adam is there, and it will return false for rest things. So in phone 2, in these two we have Adam. Now in this we have Adam. So it returns true. For rest it returns false. If you return Gabriel, it returns true for all except the last one. Okay. So this is the path parent child functions, and this is used in as I already said, in row level security, where we need to define the path, what is path, and where we need to check what is the path of path contained, like who logs in into the Power BI services, and who have given an access to whom we have given an access. So we will check by using these two functions, and one more function is there, which is user principal. So this is similar to the our Gmail ID. So we will see this path, and path contains in row level security also. So you got this one.
Yes, Raghu.
Okay, then let me just close this file and open the new. Okay, so now we have two things, that is calculated column and measures. And in this, we will see what is filter context and row context and what is explicit and implicit measures. So, so I'll show you the difference. So, calculated column, you add the column in your data set. Okay, so suppose whatever the column you are adding in this by using any DAX function. Suppose this is the calculated column, okay, because I have added this column. So this is the calculated columns, okay. So these are the calculated columns. So why we always preferred mostly measures and not calculated column, because when we add the calculated column, it increase the file size, okay, but measure will not increase the file size because it will not add in this existing data sets. So this is why we always prefer to use measure instead of calculated columns, okay. Measures is totally based on the aggregations. So whatever the aggregations you will perform, it will give you the result like that only. So the difference between calculated column and measures is this: calculated column you will be able to see in the data set, but measures you will not be able to see. So suppose this is my measures I have created, but you can see we have this measure in calendar column, right? I will not be able to see this measure. Okay, you can see conditional formatting, I'm not able to see. So this is the first difference between calculated column and measure. The second difference between calculated column and measure is the icon. So for measure, we have this calculator icon, and for this calculated column, we have this item, this type of signs. Okay. Okay, so we will see that things also. So in this we have totals, this sales, and now I'm going to create one measure in this, total sales equals to. Now I'm going to use sum function for total sales, so it will do sum and the name of the column name. So column name will be sales because I want this sum. Okay. Okay, so this is the total measure I have created. I'll show you the original value and the measure which I have created, and by using the calculated column, what result it is giving. So this is the original value. Okay, I'm just Control C and Control V, duplicating this, removing here, and adding total sales. Okay, now I'm going to create one measure here. Okay, not measure, calculated column. So I'll add new column in this, total sales equals to sum of order sales. Okay, so this is my calculated column. So again, control Control V. I'm just removing this total sales from this, and I will add the this calculated column. Okay, so now you can see the result. So my sales is this actually, okay, and by using measure I'm actually getting the same answer. By using calculated column I'm not giving this, it is not giving the same answer, it is giving a wrong answer. My say total sales is 2.30, okay, which is similar to my sales, okay. So these are matching. It means our measure working perfectly, but our this calculated column here not working perfectly. So I'll show you what happened. Why we are getting this 22.96 billion. So calculated column works row by row, and measure works by using filter context, okay. So here what happen is, in calculated column it is working row by row. So when I say row by row, it means it will add each row and then it will give you the result. So what here is happen is, it will add 2297 plus 2297 plus this plus this plus this till up to 10,000 rows, and that's why it is giving this value 22.96 billion. Okay, so that's why here we will not prefer to use the this calculated columns. So calculated column we will use when we actually have a single values, or when we suppose we need to extract the sales commissions. So on that time we can use the total this calculated columns. So I'll show you one example of calculated column. So here I'm going to extract the sales commissions from the order sales, from the sales. Okay. So here I'm writing this small DAX function into this sales into zero point 0.2. So zero point 0.2 means 20% of commissions. Okay. So now what it will happen is, it will multiply this value into zero point 0.2 and it will give you a result. Again it will multiply this 6.63 into zero point 0.2 and it will give you result. So you can see here. You can see it is now our all values is different. You can see. So what is happening is, it is 77.88 into zero point 0.2. It will give you 15.576. 6.63 into zero point 0.2, it will give you 1.326. It is giving you like this value. So here you can use the this calculated columns. Okay, so this is row by row, and our measures is a filter context. So you can see I have written row context is similar to the calculated column because it performs row by row value calculations. Okay, and filter context is similar to measures because it perform column wise aggregations in filter context. Okay, now what is implicit and explicit measures? So let me go here. Okay, now you will see this. These are the implicit measures. These are already present. I have not created any measures. Okay, so this sales is already there in our data sets, and we can do the average of this sales, minimum, maximum, distinct count of this sales, median, and as standard deviation. We can do anything. Okay, so these are the implicit measures which I have not created. Okay, so these are the by default calculations. Now, what is explicit measures is when I click here, and you will see when I click this drop down, it is showing me these four values only. It means this is explicit measures which is created by myself, so I can create as many possible, like many explicit measures uh, we want.
How did you, when you say you created this thing, how did it get created?
So when I
Remove
say I have
something.
created this measure, it means I have added a new measure.
Oh, okay, 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 okay.
And when I say I have not created, it means it already present in the dataset. So you can see this sales is already present in the dataset, but this total sales is not present in our dataset, right? So I have created this measure as total sales, and this as this already present in this. So whatever the date this sales is present already there, it means we have these by default aggregations. We can do these aggregations only in this sales. But when I say explicit measures which is created by myself, I can do any aggregation, I can apply any aggregation functions in this. Okay, so as you can see, this is the difference between we are not able to see in this anything, any other implicit measures, but in this we will be able to see. Okay, these implicit measures. Okay, so explicit measures, you are going to create as many as you want. Implicit measures, which is by default measures and present in your data set. So you have understood these things, right?
Yes, yes, got it.
Okay, okay, so have you done this bookmark? Okay, so one thing, suppose you have downloaded some data, some pbix files, and you are not able to find that data sets. On that time, what you can do is, what you will do, you if you have to create that dashboards for your practice purpose, and you are not able to download the data sets, and you have to use that data sets, right? So what you can do is, so let me just these things. Okay, so on that time, you just open that PBIX file, go to the each data, and you can see this more option, and then you will see this copy table. Okay, when you click on this copy table, it will copy the entire table. Okay, so one thing, if they have created any measures, it is not going to copy it. Okay, and open the Excel file, and then do Control V. Now you can see my all data is there. So calculated columns are there, but measures are not visible. You can see total sales is not there. So this
Yeah.
total sales is calculated column which I have used. So this is how you can copy the table and you can paste it and you can use the data sets like this. So you can create a multiple sheets here instead of creating another Excel file. So if we have these, see, these are the four tables we have. You can create in four sheets in this Excel file only. This will be easy to load in the Power BI. So this is how you can use this. Don't see.
Okay.
So I have some data sets. If you have if you're done with your practice, then I can give you the data sets and you can practice, at least you can build some dash this reports by your own. So
Sure, sure.
by on Sunday I'll give you one data sets and you can create some reports by till next Saturday. So
Yeah.
now we have lecture on next Saturday after the Sunday, right? So you have the whole week, so you can use it. Now we have, okay, these things, okay, this logical functions. So these are the logical functions we are going to see. Let me just save this file. Okay, one more thing, you can see my date is in this format. So you can change the date format while clicking on this date and from here. Okay, so whatever the date format you want, generally I prefer this like this. Okay, so you can change it to this format. Now we have first logical function, that is the if functions. Okay, so we will see the high sales and low sales in this on net sales. So we'll see the sales status whether it is high or low. So I'm using if function here. So checks whether a condition is met and returns one value if true and another value if false. So you can see the syntax, it is asking for the logical test. So it means on which column we need to apply this. Okay, apply this result. So net sales is, if I say my net sales is greater than 450, okay, or suppose 500, okay, then my result will be high, else my result will be low. Okay, Now you can see. So this is below the 500, so it is low. This is also low. This is high, 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 and this does the low. So this is where you can use the if functions. Now we have second, that is and function. Okay, I'll just give if here just to remember. So in and function, what I want is I want to see the Canada sales which is greater than 500. Okay, so giving a name as and. So in this we will use if function, and inside the if function we will use and function. I'll show you why we are using this. So if you see the syntax of and, okay, we have two logical function. We can write two logics. But if you see the syntax of if, we can only write one logical functions. So that's why we are using inside if function we are using and function. Okay, so I will be able to write two logical functions because what is my requirement is I want to see the Canada sales which is greater than 500. So we need to filter two things: first the country which is Canada only, and the second is net sales which is greater than 500. So that's why. So here I'm going to write the country, okay, which is nothing but the Canada, comma. Second is net sales, okay, which is greater than 500. Okay. If this value are true, then my result will be, suppose I'm giving valid, okay, else in false return just invalid. If so, did you got this? So what I have done is in and function I have given two condition. First it will filter the country and it will give you the result only for Canada, and it will filter the net sales if net sales is greater than 500, then you have to give the valid result, else you need to give the okay, if these two values are true then you need to give the valid result, else you have to give the invalid result. Okay, so all are invalid instead of this and the last one, because in this we have 4800 as net sales and the country is Canada. Okay, 4800 is greater than 500 and we have filtered for the Canada. So that's why it is giving result valid. And last one is also country is Canada. So my first result is true. Now we will check for the net sales. So this is the net sales and which is greater than the 500. It means it is valid. If you can see the first one, Canada is there, but our net sales is 400. So this is 400, but what we have given a result, what we have given a condition is greater than 500. So this is not true. So that's why it is returning invalid. If both the conditions are true, then only it will return valid, else it will return invalid. This is called the AND function. Okay. So in AND, if both the condition are true, then only it will return true. If any conditions are false, it will return false. If both the conditions are false, then only it will false, else it will return true. Okay, so we will see the example of or function also. Right now I'm doing is calculated column. So these are the things we cannot directly used in the major.
We can't.
We
You're saying?
no, we can't. Not saying we can use these things in majors also, but we cannot directly use these things in majors. So just give me a moment. So suppose if we write some other DAX functions, and on that DAX functions, if we need two logical functions, so by using if we cannot write two logical functions, but we know by using and or by using or we can use the two logical functions. So this is how we can use this DAX functions in between the another DAX functions. So I'll show you that example also when we do has some other DAX function on that time, how we can use this and or any other DAX functions as a major. So we cannot directly use this and function in major.
Okay.
Okay. Let me see here. So in OR also you will be able to give the two logical functions. So giving or, so in this also you will able to write the two logical functions. So here I will filter to country. So country is this, if country is equals to Canada. Okay, and if country equals to, suppose what we have, France. Okay, then result will be valid, else result will be invalid. Okay. So if both the conditions, if any of the one conditions are true, it will return true. Okay. If both the conditions are false, then only it will return false. So this is the or conditions we have. So for this, it is returning true because one condition is satisfied. But for Germany, we have not given any Germany field here, so it is returning invalid because both the conditions are false. It is not Canada, it is not France, it is Germany. That's why. So it is returning valid for Canada and France. Whenever the Canada and France is there, and for rest, it is returning invalid. Then we have not function. Okay, I'll show you the result before not and the after not. Okay, So suppose if I write country, okay, and then do valid invalid. Okay. So this is the result before using not function. So it is returning true, valid for the Canada. Okay. Or we can write true or invalid. Okay. So this is returning true for Canada. But when I use not function here, after if I use not function here, okay, okay, here we need to separate this. Then you will say it just returns the opposite here. So now for Canada it is returning false, and for other it is returning true. So using not function, it turns positive value into the negative value. Now we have switch functions. So here we will use switch function to create a country code. So how we will create a country code, I'll show you here. Switch. Okay. So for switch we have expressions, value, result. Okay. So expressions we will give. So here I'm giving expression as country, comma, now value. So for Canada, my result will be CA. Okay. So for Canada, my code will be CA. So this is the expression based on country column I'm working. So I have given countries in expression. Value is my Canada, and result will be code will be this CA. Now second for the again for the France, this is my value 2, and this is my result 2. Okay. Now third will be, and for this my value will be J. You can see this is how you can create the country code by using switch function. Okay. So I'll tell you why I have not created these two, because we have next function, that is the coalesce function. We will use this in coalesce also. Coalesce. So okay, so for Canada, you are creating the new value CA. For France, you are creating the new value for this FRA. For Germany, you are creating the another code. So, but by using if, you cannot do like this. Okay, so switch function will check where the CA Canada is there. So it will check this is Canada. Okay, it is going to return CA. Then it will check. For Germany. Okay, this is Germany. Here we have to give this GE as a value. So it will check for each things and it will repeat the things again and again until and unless it will not fulfill the requirement. Okay. So but if function will not do like this.
Okay.
Here you have directly applied these things, but if you use if function, so then you have to use this. If Canada, if country equals to Canada, then result will be CA, else result will be something other. So you need to write multiple if functions for that, but in switch you can use one if in switch you can define the multiple functions inside the switch only. You don't have to write again and again the same things. Okay.
Yes, yes. Got it. Got it.
Okay. So if you see Coalesce returns the first argument that does not evaluate to a blank value. If all arguments evaluate to blank values, then only it will return blank. Else it will check for non-blank values, and if is there any non-blank value in your conditions, whatever the condition you are going to give, if it is there any non-blank value, it will check for the non-blank values first, and if there is not any non-blank value, it will just return the blank. So we will see the example. So I have written this country code. Okay, in this we have some blank values, so that's why I have just not created a country code for this Mexico and all. So my first value is this country code. Now I'm giving second value, that is blank. Okay, the third value I'm giving is NA. Again fourth value I'm giving blank, and the last value I'm giving default. So in this we have multiple values, so it will check for the non-blank values. So you see the result and then I'll explain you. So you can see in country code switch, in country code we have these are the non-blank values, these are the values are already there, so they have written all those values. Now you will see again my second parameter is blank, but it is not returning blank. Why? It will check for the non-blank values. So my third parameter is NA, so whenever the blank is there, it is returning NA. So you can see I have given default also. Why they have not returning default and why they are returning NA? Because this is the first value which we have given. So if this got the one value which is not blank, it will return those only. If I remove this, okay, then it will return default. You can see this default is there in these three things. Okay. If you will not give any value, okay, and you give just blank, then only it will return blank values. Else it will check for the non-blank values, whatever the non-blank values you have given. Okay. First, you see.